as soon as I got on stage, I was like, holy fucking shit, I want every gig to be like this. It was like, my mind is blown.
Oh, it's a vlog! It's a vlog! It's Michael from Dark Elsa. It's Nustock backstage.
Nustock.
Oh, look how beautiful and illuminated. It's funny because I'm so used to going to this venue for an underground hip hop night, which is called Moho, and now we're just laming it out. But honestly, Darius might have just walked back in the past of the back of the shot because this man has put on one heck of an event.
He's done a very good job.
Michael's
Echo Gecko, the new, there's some pretty cool other bands. Jumanji
just played, and they're my favourite non-Birmingham band of the year.
Gotta get those non-Birmingham bands.
Not quite the right B-town, but I do love Brighton. It's very good. I have to admit I turned up a little late and I did miss Echo Gecko, but Michael's dutifully informed me
Echo Gecko were very
incredible.
Good.
Everyone's
very
come up to me like
stylistic bands, highly recommend.
They're the best live band in the world or something, so I'll be checking them out the next opportunity I can. But today, who we are going to be checking out is Jumanji, who we've just seen. We're going to be interviewing them hopefully soon. Hello Jumanji, we're doing a vlog.
Jumanji!
Hi!
You guys were really good.
You were very good. My favourite non-Birmingham band of the year, I think. From one B town to another.
That's it.
It's wild that you've played at Hope.
Brighton, is it playing right now?
Oh yeah, it's filming it, that's cool.
It's Tim Senna, he's from Birmingham.
Everyone says that like anyone's going to know who I am outside of Birmingham. I do like vlogs and Birmingham bands and a bit of BBC introducing too, and sometimes people know who I am, but mostly not. Mostly not. I saw England go out of the World Cup at Brighton on the big screen.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, were you there?
I was there for one of the matches.
Oh, it's the other
Mr. Tom Ruston,
who's been nicked by
Tom Ruston. He's now the new.
I'm a bit of
a very good guitarist.
He's betrayed us. He's betrayed us.
Is there any beef there? You left South Korea.
It's fine.
You left viral South Korean fame.
It's for the new.
The new.
It's for the.
Hammeroos is actually probably my favourite Birmingham venue. I'm so glad Jumanji you had a good Birmingham show because I know things can technically go wrong, and you were saying like the other ones.
You guys were really good.
But we're going to properly interview Jumanji if they're up for it. We're going to properly interview Jumanji in a bit, and I'm going to put my arm down because this is a really heavy camera. Yeah, you know what? This is the thumbnail. Hey Jumanji, how's it going? After an amazing set at Nustock, the first one ever, and I think you guys are already one of my favourite non-Birmingham bands, so big up for that.
That's nice.
From one B town to another, how was your journey? Up, not down.
Right. It was okay. We made one stop. Okay. We had some traffic, but it wasn't horrific.
Yeah. Light traffic.
Not as bad as Scotland, I'll tell you that.
Well, I can say I actually went down to Brighton with another band, and it took us, I think, about 5 or 6 hours from Birmingham.
We halved it.
We halved it.
Half that.
We left at 12 and we got here at 4.
Yeah.
So
that's lucky traffic. You were good. Now, an amazing name, Jumanji. Are you a fan of the game and the film then? Are we
Shit, mate. It's fucking shit.
It's right.
I've got the board game.
Actual game, okay.
And we watched the movie together.
New one or the old one? Robin Williams or Karen Gillan?
And hey, wait, did we watch the movie?
I was joking. I love it really.
I don't know. I don't.
Rest
I think
in
new one's
peace, Robin Williams. Can we just
Rest
say
in
that?
peace, the poetry is in the streets. Right, have you seen though the film Zathura?
Yeah.
Which is actually, for me, a superior film to the new Jumanji, with
the new one.
a more interesting concept.
Yes, apart from when the sister falls in love with the brother.
That's very weird, isn't it? Isn't she like 13?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Incesty.
But then he makes a joke about it. He's like, you thought I had good eyes.
See that? I think Brighton's a beautiful place, and it's funny because the one venue I know there is the Hope and Ruin. And you managed to name check it on stage. Hello, off stage. Big love, man. The glitter is everywhere. But
Big up snobs.
everyone loves snobs. But every time I go in, I feel really sad because there's like that piano that's been dismantled or something.
Yeah. So we played how we know, well not how we know Darius, but like the gig we played with Darius was at the Hope and Ruin, and that was when he was in a band called Strange Wave, and that night, like this night, was just one of those ones that you're never gonna
Magical
forget.
night.
It was a really magic night, really special. Everyone was in a fucking great mood, like, yeah, great.
It's a beautiful place to live. I guess you guys actually don't get to enjoy it, but I think the feeling of going to Brighton as a band on tour, like when I've been there twice now with another band, and I think like there's something really magical about the seaside and going to play a show there.
Even living there, like I would literally walk around the lane sometimes and be like, I just fucking love this place. Like I love Brighton. There's a real atmosphere of like positivity there.
Feel that too.
It'll always have a little place in our hearts.
Yeah, a special place.
Yeah, special place.
And you've got a bit of a BIM link as well, because BIM came up on stage and there's a BIM in Brighton. I always get confused about what it actually stands for. Is it British Institute for
It used to be.
Music,
But now
Modern
it's
Music?
not just British and Irish, is it?
It's
we're
everywhere.
gonna promote BIM here. It's just in
Shout
Berlin.
out to BIM. Berlin.
Berlin.
It can only be in places beginning with B. That's the rule for
mate.
BIM.
Take care.
See you, man. You guys call yourselves tropical pop, which I think is a really cool vibe. We're at a beautiful venue for it because there's literally like I think tropical plants hanging from the ceilings. It's palm trees everywhere. So what kind of influences are we speaking here? Maybe Two Door Cinema Club? Is that a fair shout?
Bit of old Bombay Barstool Club.
Big Bombay.
Fickle friends.
So sick that they're back as well.
Oh
Bombay.
my God.
I cried when they broke up, and now
I cried when I didn't get a ticket to their gig where they're playing their first album all in full.
That's a big I had the blue. In fact, is that I had the Blues first? Yeah. I was giving a shout, which you don't know the band. Maybe you guys have heard of them, but a band called Riskus, who are quite tropical pop as well.
They're from Scotland, aren't they?
No, they're from Birmingham.
Oh, they're from Birmingham.
They're from Birmingham.
I feel like they know Indigo Velvet.
Right. They do know Indigo Velvet. I don't know how this will work with the fact that I'm recording this interview on my phone, but I can try and play a Riskus track right now on Spotify and see what happens. We're calling it out Riskus, but I think tropical pop needs to have a full-on movement in the UK because it just makes me, every single time I have my camera that Michael's filming us with now, and every single song that you put, there was just a riff that was like, oh, I've got to film this. Because it's like catchy, and I think that's, I guess, the tropical pop vibe, isn't it?
Just to get you up and dancing.
Yeah, and it did a good job of it.
You know?
We just want to have a good old boogie. I love having a boogie on stage, and it's when you're boogieing and no one else is boogieing, it's a bit weird. So when you're making other people boogie, that's where you want to be.
Non-boogie gigs, definitely.
Two in Birmingham that weren't so amazing.
Yeah. The first one was just like I had a chest infection. So we have a sound recording of that gig for some reason, and it's like it's really
To destroy all evidence.
Yeah, bury it
Destroy all
somewhere.
evidence.
Release it as a joke.
Have a boogie to your music, but you can also feel connect with it, and it addresses some deep issues as well. You mentioned mental health on stage with a song that got on Radio 1, which is sick. So I guess even though you're a band who makes what I would call more upbeat music, you can't stray away from those topics that are really important to talk.
100%. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say like we like a backbeat that makes you bop, but lyrics that make you think. There you go.
The recipe for a perfect.
Save that for a rainy day, all right?
It's on your Spotify bio now. Just quote it. Which band were you? Were you in Echo Gecko or which band? Brilliant. Well, sadly didn't capture your set, but big love. I will tag you on Instagram, nevertheless, because now you're on a vlog. And music link in bio. That's how we do with the fact that I was a little bit late today. Oh, Darius isn't. Okay.
Darius.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did. All right. I didn't get a chance to say this in the interview, but first of all, balloons inspired, and second of all, how the hell are they glowing?
Just the power of the internet.
I don't think that's how that works.
No, basically, we found these. It was Cole's idea actually. Cole's a fucking genius when it comes to all this kind of stuff. He was like, we were like, oh, we should have balloons, and then Cole was like, why don't we get them to light up? And I was like, oh. So then, yeah.
If you wanna come in, you can come in. Cole. He just dropped. What even is that? Is that a T-shirt? Do you ever have legal issues with writing Jumanji on a T-shirt and selling it?
No, but Jumanji is a word. Jumanji.
There you go.
Yeah. And when the movies come out, we get tagged in like so.
I bet you love it.
Last time I think it was like 20, 30 reviews, like, and then.
I know that.
So their Facebook tagged us instead of the film.
10 reasons why Jumanji is the best film about a jungle. That's the kind of Watch Mojo videos you can expect. A perfect note to end the interview on is your guys' friendship. Where's Darius gone? Is he still here? I didn't even notice. But your friendship with Darius, I think, was really clear throughout the gig, from the way you talked about him on stage and then the way that you came on stage. And I feel you've been on a journey with him since he was in Brighton, and just seeing him and what he achieved tonight must be so nice.
Oh my
like at his lowest point, and like, obviously everyone goes through,
Limboing under like a pavement crack or something.
you know. But in all seriousness, you know, like he was not in a good place, and like 3 years later, it's like I said on stage, it's made me so fucking proud that he deserves this, you know, fucking deserves it.
But he's clearly loved by so many people, and I think, you know, I've known him for not the longest time, but his warmth and his personality just comes across so clearly. And that thing in music, it's so often to have a detrimental effect on your mental health. So just keeping going is so important, because you see what Darius has done since a low point, and I think so many people don't realise that, you know, even the next week something could change that makes your life so different. And that's the message we should take away.
Great. Yeah.
We love Darius, we love Nustock, and thank you, Jumanji. We love you too. Darius, that was, I mean, so this is the best night of your life then?
Yeah, basically, I saw Linkin Park a few years ago. I thought that was the best night of my life. This just fucking topped it, and I never thought I'd say that. So.
Is something fucking truly special, and you know, you pitched this thing as Nustock, so it was always going to be more than a gig. And you know, I had expectations. I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be this. And I come to this phrase Madlands time and time again, because every show in this city, in this region, it turns up so high, and the people in that room fucking love you like a rock star. So I bet you felt like the real deal up there.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty special. Like, it's kind of like the feeling I had on stage was the first time in my whole music career when I felt like I'm fucking onto something. Like, I don't know. Well, normally when you do shows and stuff, there's so much like anticipation, and you're thinking of so many things in your head, but the way the audience reacted, and I'm so grateful for them for it. As soon as I got on stage, I was like, holy fucking shit! I want every gig to be like this. It was like, my mind is blown. Like,
Mine too. Like, I've seen, I don't know if you know a band called Marzicans. Right, they played here and got, I would say, a smaller crowd than you. That is the magic of the scene. How would you actually describe the new sound? Because I always say, like, electro-fusion, you've clearly got the Muse influence there with the beautiful guitars. You had an Instagram post that was, when in doubt, more reverb, which pretty much sums it up, I think, the old style with the new.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, so the thing I always say to people, right, is like, because I don't like the idea of like putting like the new in a box. Like, people are like, oh, we're an indie band, oh, we're a metal band, and then you automatically like just like seclude like all these other genres and all these other people from the scene.
Kind of box yourself off when actually you're drifting throughout a wide spectrum of different sounds. And I think especially first, I love the new one, which is Living It Up. That's the one. I wasn't sure if that was on This Is Why We Do It. Why do we do it, Darius?
Do it because you fucking enjoy it.
Enjoy it. And I think that's the one that has the right. The production in that is masterful, because you've got what I would feel is the kind of synthy electronic strength of, you know, a house DJ almost, with the tropical vibe, but also your guitars and your full-on sound. And I think, you know, when you see that on a record, it's like, okay, cool. But when you hear that live, that's why you've got a room of 150 people going absolutely batshit crazy for a good 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I've always fallen in love with this idea of it's like I wouldn't expect that. Like, oh, you've got this guitar riff type thing. Let's put some steel drums on top or steel pans on top. See what happens. But yeah, like that. Yeah, that's the, like. But live is like the main like thing I've always thought with the new, and it's my real influence on that does come from Muse. The way that.
I'm so glad.
Yeah.
I think there's one moment where in the new, either in the new one or This Is Why We Do It, there's a mechanical effect on your voice that really gave me a Musey vibe to it. So there you go. This is why we do it. so easy to talk about the good times as a musician. 3 years ago, from what I understand, you were in Brighton and maybe things weren't like they were now. So I guess it's just about that journey, and really persistence is the word that every new musician should learn, because you've achieved something crazy tonight.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, Brighton was a bit of a roller coaster. I'm not gonna lie. The people in Jumanji, they know that better than anyone. That city, I've kind of like lost.
Hi, Michael from Carcosa. Sorry.
Michael from Carcosa. So come through.
This is B-Town royalty. We don't exclude people
How
in
we
these
doing, guys?
We're doing very well. You were in the mosh pits. How did you enjoy it?
I loved it. As you can see from my hair, it's just a mess. So.
Michael had a comb in his bag. I'm not even joking. Well, technically it was a brush. It was a brush. You got to keep the
I'm ready for
lead singer
snobs.
quiff, and
Right. You know how
trying to drag me to snobs, and
Tim is gonna go to snobs.
Go on then. I'll come snobs.
Leave a like underneath the video to allow Tim to come to snobs.
I mean, even though this video will come out months after I've been to snobs or chosen not to, so it's a balance. This is another.
Ollie.
He's got glitter on his belly.
All the kids watching, turn off now. Oh no, it's fine. He's gone.
Hey, there's no age gate on my content. I don't have it monetized yet, so I don't have to be worrying about that. But yeah, so Brighton, I think obviously it wasn't as good a time for you as now. But when I see you now around in Birmingham, I think the past few events I've been at, you've been there, and you seem to have really settled yourself in this community. And clearly, there's a lot of people who you mean a lot to who've come out to support you.
It's fun. Yeah, no, Birmingham's been like, I've never felt so welcomed in any scene or any community before as I have in the Birmingham scene. Like, to just like move here like a year ago and then like meet all these incredible people, like everyone in this fucking room, and like in cities I've been in the past, like cities I've been a part of in the past, it's like, it doesn't happen. And like I've always said about it, like Birmingham has got something special about it that you just don't get anywhere else. It's like, it's just like, it's unique, is what it is. It's an anomaly in England for like a scene, for the community, for how people are with each other, like how people's heads are in society. Like it's so rare, and I'm like blown away by everything.
I'm so glad you said it, because I think we have to battle in Birmingham so much of a stigma, not only from people outside, but people inside, on what we have to offer in terms of culture, how good our live music scene is. But time and time again, when I look at the substance, the actual proof, I go to gigs in other cities and there just isn't the same magic as there is here. And every time it's a room of people who are all friends, but there's so many of them that it becomes a really legitimate and massive event and atmosphere every time.
It was like do you remember the Novus gig the other day?
I was going to say,
like,
actually your namesakes, but in Latin, because the Novus is the new in Latin. The new, it's not really another language, is it? It's just...
No. So I wanted to call it the new, but I was like, if I'm going to be new, I can't call it new, because that's the thing. I was like, the word spelled NEW has been around for many hundreds of years. So I was like, if I call it the new, then like, I was like, think of a new spin on it. But the thing I love about that we kind of have, our names both mean the same thing, is it's amazing to be in the same scene with a band that have like a similar mindset to me. Like, yeah.
This gig is on a level with that Novus gig.
I was about to say the same.
Like, we were there, and we're impartial.
Set up,
I love them. I love you both, and I know. To be honest, I know them more than you, so I'm not going to be biased like in your favour. But it was as good.
I think it's nice to see Birmingham bands like doing their own thing. And it's,
lovely to see you bring an amazing band from Brighton in Jumanji to then show them how great Birmingham can be, because I think they had some bad experiences before, but now it's like, this is what we have to offer.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, the one thing with Nustock that I was like, if we just have Birmingham bands on, it's only going to be a thing in Birmingham, and I really want like these bands to come and just like spread the word, and then like just like literally make it a thing, and then people travel from all over to come to Nustock, like they do with like Great Escape, Dot to Dot, and all this kind of stuff. So like, yeah, I like Jumanji have like been my best friends for years, and if there was one man from out of town that I was like, I want to get on, it's them.
You did manage to nick Carcosa's guitarist though.
You
so
did.
Tom is stunning, but
Tom is like the greatest guitarist ever. So every band's gotta get a hold of it.
Share the love, man. Share the beards. Share the flowing locks.
Tom was wearing his Carcosa trainers from Korea earlier, so as long as he's wearing those,
he remembers his roots.
He knows where he is. It's fine. Yeah.
Tonight, do you think with Student Power though? Because I think the BIM link was really strong. You clearly have a routing in there with the Jumanji from Brighton, and a load of people there clearly are part of the same school of thought, and I think that helped you a lot.
Yeah, definitely. Like the student, I mean, I'm a student. I go to BIM. Like this whole thing has just come out of BIM, and I'm like so grateful for everything they do. But it's just like, it was like when I thought about it, I was like, all my friends here are students. Like, I mean, and then I started meeting more people outside of BIM. But it's just like this is a thing for like everyone. Like, it's like, who cares if you're a student and you're a bit broke? Like, you come here, £2.95 red stripe. Like,
it was on the poster. I love a gig that puts the price of red stripe on the poster.
Has to be done, man. Yeah.
Red stripes advertised.
Yeah. No, this is like this. The main thing that we want at the start is we want to be for music students. We want for students to come and like experience live music and not just go to the same clubs all the time. Although we are going to snobs later.
Yeah, we always end up at snobs.
Yeah.
So is Tim, just to clarify. I'm going to check the recording again because it does cut off a bit. Yeah, we're all good. Oh no, mate. Honestly, that makes my vlog so much better every time, and everyone's so apologetic. Right. Just to wrap off, BMAs. It's funny because I saw you there for the first time. Your live performance, I think I struck the muse chord there, and your riff at the end is, it's so great for me filming it because my background from music is like watching those 2008 videos of them at Wembley Stadium and those riffs, and I think you've carried that through. So the BMAs and your live energy, is that something that's really helped you in the Birmingham scene?
1000%. If it wasn't for the BMAs, I don't think any of this would be possible.
Love you, Joe.
We do love you, Joe and Simon and Dean. You are all incredible people. Yeah. Literally, the platform that gave me has since then. It's ridiculous. There's no words.
You were at the same awards ceremony as Lady Leisure. You were nominated. I was nominated. We were there, and it was just a great atmosphere.
I walked past you, but you don't remember that.
I remember talking to you.
No, not you, Lady Leisure.
Oh, Lady. I was gonna say I'm not that big a diva. Yeah, obviously. Well, finally, where'd you go from here? Because I think you've had this crazy big show, and it's easy to. I think you've earned a well-earned rest to start with, but then Nustock, the way you've envisioned it for me, is clearly going to be a recurring thing, possibly. So it's coming back.
Yeah. So the next one is going to be the very start of next year. That's what we're planning. Yeah.
It's momentum right there.
And the thing for the new in the future, we got one show supporting Decca. So what I'm really excited about is getting everything from tonight and packing it into the Sunflower Lounge with a band that are going to already sell out the Sunflower Lounge on their own. They're incredible. So yeah, and then we might have another single coming out. Yeah.
And all I can say is, after this gig, you can very much consider yourself one of the bigger bands in Birmingham, one of the biggest. So congratulations, Darius. Big love than you. Let's do it. Always. Oh, I love you, man. This is how we end videos. Safe, man.